Hey guys, my name is Lara and I am a purple belt out of Zenith BJJ. And I like to travel the world. It's a lot of fun. I like to train, I like to travel, I like to eat good food, and I like being on planes about 15 times a year. Some of my students wonder, where the heck is Lara? Well, where the heck am I this week? I'm in Beacon, New York, visiting my good friend Mike Palladino. Mike Palladino came to our attention a couple years ago when we were in New York. We were looking for a gym to drop in at, and we did a little googly search and we found his gym. We tried to call, but he was teaching classes, so we just stopped in, and he was just a very kind person. It was really neat to train with him in, I think it was like 16 or 17. Hey guys, this is my vlog for traveling and training in New York. Hope you enjoy. I did a lot of laundry on this trip, an unbelievable amount of laundry, but that's fine, you know. It's good to have options for clothes and to limit how much you're gonna pack if you're gonna be doing these sort of short trips. We flew from Bellingham, Washington to Las Vegas, Nevada, my homeland, but let's just take a minute and enjoy the beauty that is the PNW. Look at this beautiful island. I think that's Lummi Island. If I'm wrong, then correct me, that's fine. But I think it's Lummi Island, but look how beautiful that is. This is my mom, Terry, and my sister, Diana. We are both all heading to New York to go to a funeral for my grandmother, who passed away, unfortunately. Explain what happened yesterday.
So, we got on the Frontier flight. First of all, the seats were crap.
The brakes were bad.
The brakes were bad.
There were no brakes.
And they made an announcement that they were leaking brake fluid.
Say it again, Diana.
There were no brakes. The brakes were bad. Bad.
And they didn't have an extra plane. So they were like, well, we're just going to fix it on the fly. Not fly.
Literally.
We might be here for another 2-3 hours.
Yep. So we just got a hotel.
Yeah, we went to Ellis Island.
And now we're flying out on a different airline this morning.
Brakes were bad. Say it again.
Brakes were bad.
As we've learned now, since we've fired half of the FAA, you know, you really want functioning brakes on your plane. Like, this kind of stuff happens when you go with a budget airline, and, you know, lesson learned. You just buy a more expensive ticket and you have less problems. Hey, here we are. How you doing, New York City? Joey Cipriani moment. But you know, New York City is a beautiful city. It's one of the oldest cities in the U.S. They, you know, used to call it the Big Apple, but it actually was originally called the Big Oyster because oysters were a big thing in New York City, but I don't think they have oysters anymore. Here's Central Park, one of the most beautiful parks in the world. It's really amazing to see. A lot of hustle and bustle down there. Here's the Brooklyn Bridge, one of the oldest bridges in the U.S. too. Really beautiful, you can walk across it. And here we go. We're heading from New York City to Beacon, New York, where Mike Palladino lives. He has 2 gyms. One's a satellite. One is a main gym where he does most of his classes. We're heading to Newburgh, New York, where my grandmother grew up. We decided that when she passed away, that we would take her ashes back and spread them with her family. So part of this trip was pretty sad, so I wasn't really interested in taking a class per se, so I contacted Mike to see if I could do a private lesson. Here's Rosie's Pizzaria, probably the best pizzeria in Beacon, New York. We're gonna spend way too much time on these clips because, you know, I'm sorry. I just love Rosie's Pizzaria. You know, you buy a pizza, it's like 15 bucks, you get like a huge pizza. You get to watch this lovely gentleman who's very chatty make it. He talks to you. He was telling me all about Mike Palladino's life because Mike Palladino's from Beacon, New York, so he knows Mike's dad, and Mike's dad comes in here every day. He was telling on Mike's dad. He was like, he's in here at noon every day or whatever, and I'm like, okay, well, you probably shouldn't be telling senior Mike Palladino's business. But they're good friends, I guess. They jokingly, like, when they were gonna renew their vows, this guy was gonna potentially be Mike Palladino Sr.'s best man, because they're kind of best friends, but I don't blame Mike Palladino Sr. This pizzeria is one of the best ones I've ever been to, and I lived in New York for 5 or 6 years, so. Oh, look at him crafting the dough. Oh, the sauce. Oh, the sauce is coming. I don't know what it is. I love the P&W. I've lived here for over 20 years. The pizza is not the same. It's the terroir of the water. Maybe it's the lead. Maybe it's all the flame retardant from all the planes, from the bases there. The pizza in New York is just something different. I think, maybe we just have too much moisture here in Washington. The dough doesn't properly set. I don't know. It's just, the pizza's way better. This is really cool. He's gonna be throwing some toppings around. People really like to throw stuff in New York. Oh man, there's only this guy running it. It's usually him and some family members, and every time we come in, they just have great personalities. They love to talk. They love making fun of me because I film every time we come in here, like either to show Hunter or to show somebody I know, like the pizza, and they're like, yeah, go ahead and film us. I'm a star. And just that's New York culture. Here we are at Mike Palladino's satellite gym. This was originally Mike Palladino's karate gym when he was a kid. I expected a private lesson and I was willing to pay for it, but Mike's like, just show up at this location. I show up and there are 40 people and he's teaching a class on what I wanted to learn. So that's really a kind of a Mike Palladino thing. He was like, well, I'll teach you this. And I said, well, I'll teach you some of the stuff I learned in Japan with him and Ari. So we did kind of a little trade, but every single person in this gym came up to me and introduced themselves by name and fist bumped me when I came in. And I think that really speaks highly of the culture that Mike Palladino has really built here in Beacon. And I believe this one's in Fishkill, New York. So, if you're gonna go to the city, drive 60 miles up the road and visit Evo Grappling, I only know it as, Evolution Grappling Academy. I see he does like a shorthand, so now I'm like Evo BJJ, because that's what it is on Instagram, but also I'm like Mike Palladino's gym instead of the name, so. Mike wanted to show some details on the deep half. I've been working the deep half. I've been getting kind of trapped in deep half, so he showed me like a deeper half and how to get up or how to turn people over, how to get to K-guard from here. It's really cool. Really cool stuff. This is what jiu-jitsu should be about. People should be like Mike Palladino. It should be about giving and caring. After every class or seminar I've ever seen this guy do, he spends 20 minutes to an hour just answering questions. And sometimes the questions aren't even about what we're learning. They're about other things people have. And he's just an immensely giving person. He's always been really pro-community. He likes to give back to the community. He's very involved in the community and just a very positive force in jiu-jitsu in a culture of a lot of really bad things happening, like a lot of sexual assault and people being treated badly. Mike Palladino is an angel. And I would recommend that you definitely go to his gym and his classes. He's got a lot of women. He's got a lot of people who are very friendly. A lot of people from different walks of life, like doctors, lawyers, policemen, firemen. And it's really like a really positive culture. And, despite me wanting to have like a single private lesson, doing this like 40-person private lesson class was like totally worth it. It kind of pushed me out of some of my grief and it was a really good thing. Hey guys, guess what? We're back in New York City. We are on our way out. I just wanted to show a couple more of parts of this borough that we stayed in. Hey NYPD. And just show you how massive this city is. We stayed on Long Island, which is huge. Like you think an island and you think it's pretty small, but it's actually quite big. It's like one of the biggest islands I've ever been on. And I just wanted to show you some of the massiveness of this city. I would like to go back again and of course always train with Mike Palladino, but I'd love to run a battle grappling there and really just get to meet some more of the people in the community, because if Mike Palladino's any indication of what people are like in the New York grappling scene, then I want to meet all of them. It's really been a great experience knowing him, and hopefully we'll get to continue to work with him over time. Here we are again at the airport. This year alone, I had traveled and been on 15 airplanes, just various family members passing away, and also just a little bit of escapism. When you lose people important to you, you don't always want to be at home. You want to get out and like have some experiences, and it kind of changes your outlook on a lot of different things. Here we are, we're heading back to Las Vegas, my hometown, where we'll pick up in the next episode with working with Robert Drysdale. How would I rate my training? 5 out of 5, guys. I love Mike Palladino. I just made a whole video about how much I love him and I love his gym. Love the culture. Everybody's very friendly, clean gym. Women in the gym, yes. And they invited me to come to their women's class the next day. I just had to go to a funeral. And people to train with, yeah. I actually had to beat them off with a stick because they all wanted to train with me because they didn't know who I was. It's, you know, it's not a small gym. He has quite a few students, but like, when people come in, they're very friendly and they're like, hey, who are you? Fist bump, like, welcome. And so, yeah, I have 5 out of 5. Best gym probably I've ever been to other than my own gym. Felt just like being at home. So go train at EGA, either in Fishkill or Beacon. Mike Palladino. Hey, did you like this? Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that little bell, I guess. Woo!